Snowflakes danced silently outside the frosted window, but inside, the room was alive with warmth. A golden fire crackled in the hearth. 3 children sat wide-eyed on the soft rug. And there she was, Grandma Ellie rocking gently, a twinkle in her silver hair. Have you ever wondered what Christmas felt like before TVs and smartphones? When love and kindness were the greatest gifts of all? She asked, her voice soft yet magnetic. Let me take you back to a snowy evening, a cozy house, and a Christmas that changed my life forever. Her eyes sparkled as she leaned forward slightly, hands moving gently, and the children leaned in, holding their breath. I promise by the time this story ends, you'll feel what it was like to celebrate Christmas with hearts fuller than any gift could ever make them. Snow was falling gently outside the window, soft flakes drifting like little memories returning home. The fireplace crackled warmly in the corner, and the scent of cinnamon and baked apples filled the room. Emma, the eldest at 12, Noah, her curious 9-year-old brother, and little Lily, only 6, with big eyes and a habit of hugging her stuffed bear tighter whenever she got excited, sat cross-legged on the rug. Grandma Eleanor Rose Whitmore, whom everyone lovingly called Grandma Ellie, sat in her rocking chair, a knitted shawl around her shoulders and a warm smile resting on her face. Emma leaned forward, her voice full of anticipation. Grandma, tell us about Christmas when you were a kid. You always say the 1950s were magical. We want to hear what it was really like. Grandma chuckled softly, her eyes sparkling like she had been waiting for this moment. Oh my darlings, if only you knew. Christmas back then wasn't what you see today. No big stores or shiny gadgets. No tablets buzzing with messages. And we certainly didn't have hundreds of gifts under the tree. But somehow it felt bigger, warmer, fuller. She paused, letting her thoughts drift backward through time. It felt like the whole world slowed down to listen to the sound of joy. The children snuggled closer. Tell us everything, Noah urged. From the beginning. Grandma closed her eyes a moment, almost as if stepping into a memory she had kept safely tucked away in the folds of her heart. Well then, she whispered, let me take you back to the winter of 1954. When I was just your age, Emma. The Christmas that changed everything for me. I remember waking up to the sound of wind softly humming through the cracks of our little wooden house. The walls were thin, but love made them feel stronger. My mother was already in the kitchen. Oh, I can still smell the warm sweetness of her cinnamon bread drifting through the hallway. We didn't have central heating back then. The floors were cold, and my breath made little clouds in the air. But I didn't mind. Not on Christmas week. I rushed to the frost-covered window and rubbed the fog away with my sleeve. Outside, snow blanketed the fields like a giant white quilt. The world looked peaceful, untouched, like a postcard. And somewhere down the road, I heard the faint laughter of neighbors already outside, clearing snow, greeting each other with love and cheer. People knew each other back then. Everyone was like family. Emma interrupted gently. Grandma, did you have a big tree like ours? Grandma smiled. Our tree? Oh, sweetheart, we didn't buy trees from fancy stores. Your great-grandfather and I would walk into the woods behind our home. He carried an old metal saw, and I carried a little lantern. It always felt like an adventure. A secret just for the two of us. Her voice softened, becoming almost a monologue, spoken more to the memory than to the room. I can still feel my small hand wrapped around my father's big mitten, the snow crunching under our boots, the smell of pine in the cold air. And when we found the right tree, oh, he'd turn to me and say, Ellie, this one looks like it's been waiting just for us. And I'd nod, eyes wide, believing every word. She took a slow breath, her eyes misty. You don't forget moments like that. The children watched her in silence, wide-eyed. We'd bring the tree home, Grandma continued, and Mama would clap her hands with joy. She always said the tree brought light into the house. We decorated it with handmade ornaments, paper chains, popcorn strings, dried orange slices, and stars carved by my father's own hands. Little Lily tilted her head. No shiny lights? Oh no, Grandma chuckled. Our lights were simple. A few small bulbs if they worked that year. And the rest was all magic of imagination. Her voice shifted into a soft reflective tone. You see, joy wasn't bought. It was made. With hands. With laughter. With love. She rocked gently in her chair. But that year, 1954, something was different. Something heavier hung in the air. My father lost his job 2 weeks before Christmas. Lumber mills were closing. Times were hard. Her voice wavered, as if she could still feel the weight her parents carried. I remember coming into the kitchen and finding my mother crying quietly, her hands kneading dough that wasn't enough for all the neighbors she usually baked for. My father sat with his head in his hands. Grandma swallowed softly. You don't forget the sound of grown-ups trying not to cry. But do you know what my mama said? Grandma's voice strengthened, glowing with pride. She wiped her tears, looked at my father with steady eyes and said, we may not have money, but we have love. More than enough to share. And that is Christmas. Emma exhaled deeply. She sounds like an amazing woman. Oh, she was, Grandma whispered. She truly was. She continued. That night my parents made a plan. A simple one. To give whatever they could to whoever needed it more. We spent hours cutting extra paper chains, sewing little felt hearts, baking small loaves of bread from the last of the flour. We wrapped everything with twine and love. Her voice grew emotional, trembling slightly. I didn't understand why we were giving away the little we had. And Mama sat me on her lap and said, Christmas isn't about keeping. Christmas is about giving. The more you give, the richer your heart becomes. I didn't fully understand then, but I do now. She looked at the children, her eyes soft. That lesson shaped my entire life. The story flowed like a river of old memories. Grandma described walking with her parents through the snow, delivering small handmade gifts to neighbors who had even less than they did. A lonely widower, a family with a sick child, a woman whose husband had gone away for work and never come back. Everyone greeted them with grateful tears. We didn't bring much, Grandma said. But the smiles we received, children, that was Christmas magic. Noah raised his hand like he was in school. Grandma, what did you get for Christmas that year? Grandma laughed, a warm, rich sound. Oh, my boy, do you know what I got? A pair of mittens Papa knitted himself. Crooked, too big, one thumb shorter than the other. And they were perfect. Because they were made with love. She leaned back, voice falling into a deep, emotional monologue. And that morning, Mama handed me a tiny box. Her voice softened. Inside was a small wooden star, carved by Papa. Smooth, simple, beautiful. She paused. And a note. Just one line. Love is the only gift that grows the more you give it. That line has stayed with me all these years. And every Christmas, I read it again in my heart. She touched her chest. It's right here, even now. Emma blinked hard, brushing away a tear. Grandma, that's beautiful. Grandma nodded slowly. There was one more thing. Something I've never forgotten. Her voice grew more dramatic, storytelling tone deepening. On Christmas Eve, a terrible storm hit our town. Roads were blocked. People were trapped in their homes. No one could reach the small church on the hill where we held our Christmas service. The children leaned in. My father said he couldn't bear the thought of the old pastor, who lived alone, spending Christmas Eve without company. He decided we would try to reach him. Noah's eyes widened. In the storm. Yes, Grandma said. In the storm. Wrapped in layers, lanterns in hand, we walked through snow up to our knees. I was scared. The wind howled like wolves, but my father's hand held mine tight. She spoke gently, almost whispering. I kept saying, Papa, I'm scared. And he kept replying, Hold on to me, Ellie. We'll walk with hope. She wiped a tear from the corner of her eye. When we reached the pastor's home, he opened the door with tears streaming down his face. He said, "I thought God had forgotten me this year." My mother hugged him and said, "God never forgets. And neither do friends." Emotion filled the room like warm light. We spent the whole evening with him, singing hymns, sharing bread, laughing, crying. There were only 4 of us, but my heart has never known a Christmas more full than that one. She paused, letting the silence settle like soft snow. The world may have been cold that night, but inside that little home, we were warm with something deeper than fire. The children sat completely still. "What happened after?" Lily whispered. Grandma smiled softly. "Well, the storm ended the next morning. The sky was clear, oh so clear, like the angels had swept away the darkness. And the whole town gathered in the square, not in the church. Everyone brought whatever food they could spare. Little gifts, homemade pies. A man played the violin. A woman sang an old hymn. Her eyes sparkled with deep nostalgia. And people danced on snow, laughing, hugging, celebrating life. You see, we didn't need decorations. The joy in our hearts was enough to light the world." She leaned forward and cupped Lily's face. "That Christmas taught me the most important lesson of my whole life. The richest people aren't the ones with the most gifts. They're the ones with the most love to give." She spread her hands slightly. "That's how it was in the 1950s. We didn't have much, but we had hearts so full they could overflow. And they did." The children moved closer and hugged her. All 3 of them. "Grandma," Emma said softly, "your Christmas sounds beautiful." "It was," she whispered. "And it still is. Because I share it with you now." The room felt silent and glowing, filled with the warmth of memory and love. Grandma Ellie closed her eyes for a moment, finishing the story with a final monologue, spoken from her soul. Christmas isn't about the tree, or the lights, or the gifts waiting under it. It's about the hearts gathered around it. It's about kindness, giving, remembering those who have little, and cherishing those we love the most. If you can carry this lesson forward, then my Christmas of 1954 will live forever. The children held her hands tightly. "We'll remember, Grandma," Emma promised. "We'll keep your Christmas alive." And in that warm room, lit only by the soft glow of the Christmas tree, 3 children and their grandmother shared a moment of love that stretched across time, connecting the world of the 1950s with the world of today. A moment that would become their story someday. A moment that felt like Christmas. A moment that felt like home.